Hello, welcome to After the Whistle. We are back. Yeah, we're back. They didn't cancel us. They didn't pull the plug on us. We're not banned from TV. Me and Captain Lightskin, he's back once again. That's 2 weeks in a row. It's the Todd Burton Jr.'s here. You know, he's a little frustrated with the cold. And
oh my God. Oh, it's unnecessary. There's no reason for this to be this cold this early. Come on.
At all. So we got another great show for you all. You know, we're gonna talk a lot. We might get sidetracked with some side conversations about stuff. Just bear with us, all right? Well, just bear with us. You're gonna enjoy it. So first, we're gonna talk about the Patriots. Boy, did we not see this coming?
No.
They got their behinds handed to them by the Titans. The Titans. It was just an overall bad game. Once again, the overreaction Monday every time a Patriots loss is just ridiculous. But they played horrible. Brady played horrible. The defense played horrible. Nobody played well. Basically, nobody played well, and that's what happens. You get your butt whipped 34-10.
I feel like they might have came in the game feeling the same way everybody in New England felt. They were going to just walk all over them. It just didn't happen like that. You know, they weren't on top of things. Just a bad overall game. It happens.
Yeah, and the thing about the Patriots, their three losses, the quarterbacks they lost to. Matt Stafford, Blake Bortles, and Marcus Mariota. 3 mediocre quarterbacks. I don't know what is it about the Patriots. When they play mediocre quarterbacks, they make them look way better than they are.
I don't think they take them seriously at all. That's really what it is.
Yeah, so, I mean, but the good thing about this, they got a bye week. That was a good thing. They got a bye week. They're 7-3 right now. Bye week coming up. They could actually get healthy, get some of their get Gronk healthy, get some of the other players healthy because I think they needed the bye week.
Yeah, I would say that just based off this loss right here, they can use a little week off just to, I want to say, recalculate everything, get everything back in order.
Yeah, definitely.
Get back on the.
And my thing is the national media going, you know, they're overreaction. Every Patriots loss is an overreaction. After the loss to the Jaguars, it's over for them. The dynasty's over. After the Lions loss, it's over. They're not going to do anything. But yet they're 7-3. They're on top of their division. They're probably going to get a first-round bye in the playoffs. And I still think they're easily the third-best team in the AFC.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why they shouldn't make a deep run to playoffs. I think the media comes so hot on the Pats because it's New England. There's so many states that root for one team that we kind of outnumber all the other states and their teams. So, and we've been winning for a long time now.
Yeah.
So.
The envy is really serious, especially when you know we see this every single year. The Patriots aren't supposed to be good, or this is the year that they fumble, and then boom, they're back in the Super Bowl, and it's just you national media folks, you got to start realizing it's just not going to happen, especially when Brady and Belichick are still around. I don't
know what better to
do. Peanut butter jelly.
Yeah, maybe.
Now, another game that we didn't see coming, the Bills versus the Jets. Oh, my goodness. This is 2 bad teams playing against each other, but the Jets just looked horrible. They it's bad when you let a lineman catch a touchdown.
This is true. This is true. I missed a lot of that game, but you just said it.
The
Jets and the Bills.
They were pathetic. They did not do anything well, and now their coach's job. They quit. That's another team. They quit on the coach. I don't know why, but Todd Bowles is not a bad coach. The Jets, they just did a bad job of getting him players and surrounding him with players that'll help him succeed. And he's gonna lose his job because of this. And that might be the best thing to happen for him to get out of New York because it's just not a conducive, a healthy work environment for him because he is a good coach.
My whole thing is, though, all these coaches getting fired, but nobody from the top ever really gets fired. And all these coaches that are getting fired are all coaching for bad organizations, like the Browns, the Jets. Like, are you serious? Like, when is the top ever going to be penalized for being trash?
Never. The top never gets penalized for the dumb decisions they make. And if the coach would speak out, listen, you guys are giving me a bad hand. And, they never take responsibility for it. But, and also what was worse for the Jets, Matt Barkley, he wasn't even on the roster for the majority of the season. And he comes in 15 of 25, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
NFL, I'll be honest, man. When it comes like the QB position, the NFL, I don't know. They pick who they want. I feel like in the NFL,
Yeah.
because you got guys who should have a job, getting blackballed.
Yeah.
Other guys that who are as good as starting QBs aren't even getting any looks.
Yeah.
Backup QBs aren't getting the time that they should get because some guys are, I want to say, overstaying their time. You know what I mean? It's just a whole bunch. It's a whole bunch of things when it comes to NFL and the QB position.
Yeah, and I don't get why they, especially when you see a team pick up a quarterback and you're just like, we've seen what this guy is. He's not a good quarterback. He's not an NFL quarterback, but yet you're still gonna put him on your roster when you could easily give that roster spot to somebody that's actually good or somebody that's actually been to a Super Bowl or led a team to a Super Bowl. But I mean, you keep a Nathan Peterman, the interception machine, on the roster. They finally released him. I think he's happy. He's the happiest person ever being released. Now they don't gotta throw him out there, but that's. I don't know. I don't know how the minds work of some of these organizations.
I mean, it also comes, like you said last week, when it comes to recycling coaches. They recycle certain players too, recycle QBs,
Yeah, that's stop recycling QBs, dummies. All right, the Thursday night game, the Panthers versus the Steelers. This was my guy Cam didn't. This was one of those where it's just like, man, this is. The Panthers' defense was supposed to be a good defense. They just didn't look good. And 2 of the touchdowns, the guys was running wide open. And, Cam, I don't know what he was thinking on that one. It was another bad game for them. This is one of those games we talked about last week. You have one of these games where you just got to throw away the film and not even watch the film because it's one of those that it happens.
Yeah. I say the Panthers were playing good football on the roll.
Yeah.
Steelers were also on a roll,
Yeah.
and I think the Steelers are finally finding their niche and they're figuring things out because they started off rough, and the Panthers had a hiccup.
Yeah,
I mean, it all worked out.
Yeah, there was some. Eric Reed got ejected in this game because Roethlisberger was running, and when the quarterback's running, he slid. If you watch the play, it wasn't as bad as people made it seem because. I think Roethlisberger decided he's going to slide at the last minute, and Reed was coming at him already. And if you look, he actually tried to dodge him while he was in the air, but he grazed his helmet. It wasn't a vicious hit, but he ended up getting ejected. And Brian Finneran, that bum, Brian Finneran, former Atlanta Falcons wide receiver, that bum, he decides to tweet, now Eric Reed could go kneel his behind in the locker room. He tweeted that.
My thing is, though, I guarantee he said nothing like that in front of that man's face.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
Everybody's so tough on social media and behind closed doors. And why don't you say something when you see him? If you disagree with that man kneeling, you should have said something to him during the game.
Or go find him and say that to him.
Like.
And Eric Reed, he got hands. He got hands. He handled. There were 2 Philadelphia players. They tried to come at him, and he handled them. But yeah, Brian Finneran, you bum. I mean, only a lame would tweet something out like that, especially a lame who's not even in the league anymore.
Exactly.
But also with the Steelers, Le'Veon Bell, he's not playing this year. He didn't sign that 1-year tender, that franchise tag they did. And a lot of people they have an issue with him not signing. I have no issue with him not signing because he was getting screwed the past 2 years with those franchise tags. My thing is, he's one of your best players. Why don't you give him a long-term contract? That's all he wanted. He wanted a long-term contract, but the way the NFL is set up, they just don't want to pay running backs. They want to use them and then get rid of them. And he just said, "You ain't gonna use me."
You said it best. He's basically putting the ball in his own court. He's taking control of his career, and the NFL's known for just, I want to say, putting running backs out there and spitting them out as soon as they, you know what I mean? They I want to say they digress a little bit in skills. So I'm all for it. At the end of the day, it doesn't affect me. You know me, I could care that much. But I'll never get mad at a man for doing what's best for him and his family. Who are we to say what he goes through and what he has to take care of and things like that? We don't know if he has some things in his body, some injuries that he might not want to tell anybody. He's want to get his money and retire in a year or two. We don't know.
Especially if you see other players that aren't as talented as him getting long-term contracts, getting big deals. And, this guy, he's been one of the best running backs since he got into the league. He's been producing for them. And my thing with the teammates seems to take side with they're not supporting him. They seem to take. They're mad at the wrong people. His teammates are mad at him when they should be mad at ownership for not giving him a long-term contract, which is all he wants is a long-term contract.
I feel like some players are scared to actually speak up because they know somebody has their check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of has you. I want to say by the neck. Use that instead of the term I would usually use. But as a teammate, you wanna be there for your brother, because at the end of the day, these, how many owners are there? Whatever.
32.
Yeah, 32 owners. They only care about themselves, and they're 32.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of you guys, so I want to say, look out for your brother. Don't worry about this guy, because he doesn't care about neither one of you two.
Yeah.
In all reality.
And especially as those teammates that's already got their contracts. They got their contracts, so they don't have to worry about security. He's playing on a 1 year. He'd be playing on a 1-year deal again for the 3rd straight season. And what if he got hurt? Then what they're gonna say. So,
but we know in this world there's more sheep than lions.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. This is another reason why I don't like the Steelers. Them phony. Man, I'd let the air out the tires of all their linemen. Phony. Just because. All right. Now to a team that doesn't have any dysfunction, the Kansas City Chiefs. These guys, they're rolling. They had another victory. Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill had another big game. This is setting up. They have a big game coming up Monday night against the Rams. But these Chiefs, they've been consistent so far. The first 10 weeks of the season, they've been consistent.
I'd say them or the Saints.
Yeah, them, the Saints, and the Rams. Those are the 3 teams that's been the most consistent this season.
Team. So I mean, they just rolling. They're rolling. They're playing good football. I mean, Andy Reid's killing it. Yeah. I mean, they're gonna be tough to see in the playoffs, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because usually a team that's this high-powered offense, they usually say when it gets cold outside, then you gotta. Will that high-power offense be sustainable? But they do have a running back they could just hand the ball off to, and a quarterback who, if need be, he could run it himself. So they have a well-balanced on offense. Their defense you got to worry about, but I think their defense could make some plays here. In this age of the NFL, you don't need a great defense, like a stingy defense. You just need a defense to make a couple plays here and there. Granted, we saw it in the Super Bowl. Defense made one play, and that made it much.
But especially with a team like the Chiefs, where they have a well-balanced offense, you need a defense to get some simple stops. Yeah. Because overall, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh man, I just went blank. It's all right though.
You talking about how Patrick Mahomes looks like Sideshow Bob?
I mean, that's just his preference of style. But yeah, when you have a well-balanced offense like that, you just want to have a consistent defense. Yeah. Because you can't have both. That's what I meant to say. You can't have both. Yeah. Just like the Giants in the Super Bowl when they beat us. Yeah. Their offense was all right, but we know who brought them there. Their defense. So when you have an offense that's that good and well-balanced, you just want to have a consistent defense just to keep you in the game.
Yeah, and I think they have it. They have it. Maybe they may get exposed here and there, but I think they have. Eric Berry is going to come back soon, and he's good. He can make a big play in the secondary for them. So, this Chiefs. I told you, if the Patriots don't make it, I kind of want to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. This is low key. I keep saying that, but low key. Now, from one our team to another, the Rams, they bounced back, beat the Seahawks, and this was quite the game. 31-36. Cooper Kupp went down with a torn ACL, which hurts, but the Rams got 2 MVPs on their team. I already said Todd Gurley should be the league MVP this season. Jared Goff is also in the run. Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees, those are the 4 guys right now I'm looking at MVP. And the Rams, their defense, we were just talking about their defense need to make one play. About defenses making one play. Their defense, although they haven't been playing well, they've been making critical plays in certain parts of the game. They had a fumble, an interception. I think they had a key sack fumble in this game by Dante Fowler. And, when it gets this time of the year, they could run the ball too because Todd Gurley, he's a guy that could run in between the tackles. He can run outside. He can catch. So they have the formula.
Yeah, they do. Just watching these highlights over here. Oh, yeah, they out there killing. I'll be honest, man. They might be the team to beat. I don't want to say it too early because I said next year and the year after might be their time, but the way they're playing, the way they're looking, and teams is dropping players and losing games, and they're staying consistent. Yeah, they might honestly be the team to beat.
And they're very aggressive too. Their coach, he's aggressive. You know, some coaches they coach scared. Some coaches, you know, when they have a big lead, they try to play it safe. And their coach is aggressive, and their quarterback doesn't make mistakes. Jared Goff doesn't make that many mistakes, and that's all you can ask for a quarterback, especially with all the talent he has around him.
I think the Rams coach is real aggressive. He's our generation. He's around our age. Yeah. He probably grew up playing Madden, going for it on fourth down and doing ridiculous stuff. So he's probably thinking and looking at things unorthodoxly compared to a traditional coach, old school coach. Yeah. He's seeing new innovative ways to win games and get first downs and things like that. So. And
especially you got a young coach, young quarterback, young running back. It's just this is basically a recipe for success right here, which a lot of back to these old owners. A lot of these owners need to take notice because this is kind of the way they should go, but they still want to stick to the 80s style football coaching, which
sorry, man.
Yeah, don't make sense. Well, we can preview this game a little bit. The Chiefs versus Rams. This is two high-powered offenses coming at it. Two young quarterbacks coming at it. They got offense everywhere. You got Tyreek Hill, Robert Woods, Sammy Watkins, and also you have Kareem Hunt, Todd Gurley. This is probably one of the most anticipated Monday night games that I've heard in a while. Yeah. So this is gonna be. This may be a Super Bowl preview. This may be a Super Bowl preview because. So I mean, who you think? Right now, who would you give the edge to?
Rams.
Rams?
Just because Todd Gurley, they average like 2 touchdowns a game. Goff is killing. I don't really see many people really stopping Todd Gurley, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me either.
The way he runs hard.
Yeah. And you forget he came off a torn ACL. And he's just been, ever since, you know, some people, they just don't bounce back the same from a torn ACL. He came, you know, when he tore his ACL in college and he came into the league, it was just instant.
I feel like he might be related to Adrian Peterson or somebody.
Yeah, he might be.
Because the way he bounced back from injuries, no different than AP.
You know, he's from North Carolina. I don't know what they feed them down there in North Carolina.
Know that soul food, that's part of it.
Yeah,
and that heat, so.
Yeah, he country boy.
Oh, where is he?
All right, the Red Hot Saints. The Saints, oh man, I don't know if you saw. They put a pummeling on the Bengals, you know. My friends in Cincinnati, I keep trying to tell you that bum team, the Bengals, aren't going anywhere. You keep trying to tell me otherwise, but 51-14, it was like 7-on-7 out there. Drew Brees was doing whatever he wanted out there. It was close for a bit, and then the wheels came off the Bengals, and they're the Bengals who they are, who we thought they were. Oh, they fired the defensive coordinator after this game. The Bengals. They fired.
I mean, he should have been fired if that was the case. But man, like that, I'll be honest, I didn't watch any of this game. I actually was watching another game. I heard ESPN or somebody talking about the score, and I thought I was tripping. Yeah. I thought I was bugging, so I didn't even look at any of this stuff, to be brutally honest. Like, this is slacking. Dalton should be ashamed of himself. Granted, he can't control like getting scored on, but you can control scoring. Yeah. So you know, we gotta figure some things out. There's no reason why professional teams should get smacked like this
at all. And the crazy thing is, they signed Des Bryant and torn Achilles. The torn Achilles the next day after practice. That's sad, but also shows what happens when you kind of aren't doing anything for a while.
Yeah, you always want to keep playing. You always want to stay in shape because, for one, you don't know what opportunity might come up next. He might have been sitting on the couch, you know, being rich, which is not a problem. Yeah. But when you're trying to get another opportunity, another job, you need to make sure you're ready.
Yeah, and this is I don't even know. I don't think we'll ever see Des Bryant play in the NFL again because he did just turn 30 years old, and you know when you turn 30 in the NFL, that's like an eternity, and an Achilles injury. one of the worst injuries to have. This is Achilles injuries is a career ender. We saw it ended Kobe's career, and it's ended a lot of players' career. I'm just,
Kobe was old.
yeah, Kobe was old, but you know, coming back from an Achilles injury is one of the hardest things in any sport. So. You know?
And you did say like some people might think that he was like a cancer or hard to deal with. So that's 3 strikes, and the third one's tough to deal with because if you like, they know you're a nice guy. You coming off an injury, they might give you a chance. But if you're a head case coming off an injury and you're 30 in football, man, good luck.
Yeah. Good luck, Des. I mean, they signed Brandon Marshall. I don't know how much he's gonna help, but I mean, he's a big body. They could just throw up in the end zone. So I mean, hey.
Yeah.
Fast recovery, Des.
Yeah, good luck, man. Good luck.
Now the Eagles and the Cowboys, they played a tight game Sunday night. Dallas came out with the victory, and they actually did. I think they listened to the show. They actually listened to us because they actually gave the running. They gave Ezekiel Elliott the ball. What do you know?
You might be getting trolled over here.
What do you know? It's that simple. They simplified the game and gave their best player the ball, and you know, but they're still gonna suck. But
yeah. I mean, I'm just glad they beat the Eagles. I got a couple friends that are Eagles fans.
Those are the worst type of fans.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, I was happy to see Ezekiel Elliott going out there performing and playing well.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason why they should be losing some of the teams they lose to. I'm not even a Cowboys fan, but just knowing football and who has the better players and better team, they shouldn't lose to certain teams.
Yeah,
especially like the Titans.
That one was pretty much that Titans loss was that pretty much actually made everybody just throw in the towel on their season, and I don't blame them because they've just been inconsistent this whole season. They can't run the ball consistently. Their quarterback is a little suspect with throwing the ball. So I mean, Jason Garrett is going to actually, you know, that might be the game Jason Garrett actually keeps his job. That might help him keep his job.
Maybe.
We all know he should be out of there after this season, but he might keep his job just because of that game. And, you know, Jerry Jones, Mr. You know,
he's Botox.
Jerry Jones and his Botox. I don't think that, you know, you seen Jerry Jones' face. It's like,
he got thin layers of skin up there.
Yeah, the Botox are kind of messing up his judgment on certain things pertaining to the football team, and stay off the Botox, Jerry Jones. Oh my God! All right, we gotta move on to the Chicago Bears, a surprising team in the NFC North. They are on top of the division. Their quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky,
Who is he? Where'd he come from?
North Carolina, University of North Carolina.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
he was actually the 2nd pick overall in the draft a couple years ago.
I mean, you know me in the football draft.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, people were skeptical on him. Because when you have Deshaun Watson out there, you kind of, you know, you just watched him win a national title, and you go after this guy. But you know, he's proven everybody wrong. He's proven that he actually can play. He's getting the ball. Before the season started, I told Brian that, you know, after the Bears made the move for the Khalil Mack, I said, you know, they might actually be the best team in this division after that trade. And right now they're the best team in that division, and they've been playing the most consistent out of all 3 of the teams in there.
Yeah, I definitely say that. Well, I'm glad you told me who the QB was. I was trying to figure it out, and I didn't Google him or anything. But, you know, I'm still annoyed about Khalil Mack. Like, the man, he went over there and changed the whole coach of their defense.
He had another sack fumble, too.
Man, he's just defensive player of the year. Give it to him.
That entire Bears defense, they're actually, you know, they're bringing the Monsters of the Midway nickname back because they're actually playing lights out defense right now. Their front seven is too hard to deal with, and you know they have decent cornerbacks. So this is a team. I mean, anything can happen in the NFC right now, especially in the playoffs. And if there was a sleeper team to, you know, that we would be surprised to see in the Super Bowl, it'd be the Bears, just because the way they've been playing offensively. Defensively, they're you know, with the talent they have, it's, you know, we're a little bit not surprised, but offensively they've surprised everybody.
Yeah, they're back to playing good offensive football because past couple of years it was tough.
Yeah.
So he figured it out. What's his name again?
Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, Trubisky. He figured it out. And, you know, Bears defense, well, for one, the Bears are usually known for having good defenses.
Yeah.
And when you have a leader that comes over here and changes the coaches. I think they just needed one guy to just show them a couple things, or just change the culture, just change the mindset of the defense.
Yeah, they needed that. Good job for the Bears. They got it. This is the final stretch. This is basically almost the home stretch of the season, this part. So November is when you want to play your best football. December is when you want to play. And they look like they figured out the recipe and they're putting it all together. Also, a young coach, a young head coach, young quarterback.
Just a different way of thinking when you know, it's a different way of thinking. Yeah. That's all.
And now the resurrection of Andrew Luck. This guy, he's second in the league in touchdowns right now. He didn't play all of last season. I think the last time he played was 2016, January of 2016, before he was shut down. And the Colts, their owners are actually stopped taking drugs and figured out I should actually protect my quarterback.
Yeah.
Stop them pills popping and mess up your cognitive judgment. But he stopped taking them pills and.
For one, you always want to protect your QB. He's kind of like your prized possession. He's going to win you the games. Also, I was watching the interview when Luck said when he came back to back to the league. He was just saying like he found a new joy in playing football because he thought it was the end for him about a year or two ago. So I think just him getting that new joy, it's like a rebirth for him. Yeah. So now he's just able to be the new Luck.
And what I'm happy is they got an offensive line to protect him, because talent like his, he's one of those generational talents. He's one of the highest rated quarterback prospect probably in the history of the draft, him and John Elway. And you just don't waste that talent, because, you're going to look up by the end of his career, he's done all this, but you failed to surround him with talent, and you're going to be like, damn, we messed up. And it looks like they've put the right pieces. They got a running game now. Their running back, the running backs aren't nothing special, but they're doing the job done. They're getting the job done, I should say, and their offensive line is doing well. And their defense, that's a surprise. Their defense is,
It shouldn't have took him this long to get him a line, though. Like, he's been getting smacked for some years now.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, if he's that much of your prized possession, you have to make sure you get a decent line. Don't gotta be the best right off rip, but get a decent line so you can build off that.
Yeah. Plus, there's another guy who was trained by a professional. His dad was in the league, and he kind of knows. Well, his dad was behind Peyton Manning's dad, and he kind of saw Peyton Manning's dad running for his life his entire career in New Orleans. So I think that's what maybe got to help them with the mobility. But quickly talk about the Jaguars. These guys, I mean, Jalen Ramsey, all that talking he was doing in the offseason, now he's quoting the Bible.
Yes, this is true. This is true. I seen a meme when he was saying when you realize that all the QBs in the league are better than yours, and he was just sitting there hurt. Yeah. Blake Bortles, I haven't heard anybody say anything good about him as a QB. Like, I don't knock any professional athlete. If you're professional, you're good enough to be on that field, at court, wherever. But, like, I haven't heard one good thing about him at all.
There's nothing good about him. And the Jaguars, they had a chance to get a quarterback who's out there, who actually took a team to the Super Bowl, who was a pass away from taking them to back-to-back to a Super Bowl, and has some success in the playoffs. There's a quarterback out there. I can't think of his name right now, but there's a quarterback out there that they could have gotten that would have helped them that could have actually got them over the hump, because number one, after the AFC Championship game, they basically traded away all their talent. Offensively, they traded away both the receivers, they traded away tight end, and you gave your money to Bortles.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the Jags, though. They're not the best organization. They haven't really won anything ever. So, they're still trying to figure it out. It's only, year 20.
Yeah. I mean, it is. We speechless. I'm speechless. All right, that's enough with the NFL. Let's get into some NBA. The NBA, the best league in the world. This is a real life soap opera. The NBA. If you want soap opera, you just follow the NBA, because it
is Diva Land.
Pretty much Diva Land. Because first we got Jimmy Butler to the Sixers. That happened last week. They traded away Robert Covington, Dario Saric, and I don't know who else they traded. But Jimmy Butler to the Sixers. What do you think of that move?
I don't really think it's going to change that much. I know he's a dog, but you traded away Covington, who's a great defensive player, and Sargic, who's a great offensive player, who can shoot that thing, knock big shots down early in the season. And he's bigger than Jimmy, like 6'10", 11.
Yeah.
So like he's bigger than Jimmy. So I think Jimmy's going to produce, but I don't think it's going to change that much.
This was a great pickup for them. I think it was a great pickup for him because Jimmy, he's a dog. He's a dog. He'll play hard. He'll give you effort. I just think they traded away the wrong people.
Yes.
Markelle Fultz.
Nobody wants that free throw.
Get rid of him. This is a failed experiment. Everybody's saying be patient with him and all that. Nah. I would have traded him away and probably somebody else to keep Sarge. Or I would have traded him and Covington away.
Yeah, you don't get rid of Sarge. I was disappointed when they
they traded the wrong. Yeah.
What? You only got to knock shots down for when JJ ain't hitting.
Yeah, and Ben Simmons refuses to shoot the ball at his size. He completely does. He's like allergic to shooting. And Sarge, he can shoot. He can come out. He can take it off the dribble. So good pickup. They just should have traded Markelle Fultz. I mean,
I think both teams have worked out because I think Minnesota they got 2 players, so they got dual. And Sixers got 1 player that does what both guys do. So I think it'll work out. We just got to see. In the long run,
we'll see. I think for Minnesota, it's Karl Anthony Towns. He gets a 20-20 game when Bullet's not there. So this was definitely a good move for them because you can't. When Jimmy Butler comes in and he beats you with the third string team and he's talking trash to you, to both of your number 1 picks, your franchise players, and none of them hit him in the mouth, I mean, that's...
You know what's funny, though? I was just, before the show I came here, I was watching ESPN, and it said that Wiggins wanted him to stay.
Oh, really?
So, obviously, it seems like,
I think maybe Wiggins was taking more, was more acceptive of Butler's criticism towards him than Towns because I don't know.
Towns just comes off like he's super duper soft.
Yeah, I don't. The playoffs should have showed us how soft he was because he let Clint Capella outplay him in the playoffs.
He don't even have like a mean streak. It seems like he don't seem like he get no attitude and anything. It seems like he'd rather sing you to death.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. That's what he looks like to be, like an R&B singer. I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, he probably sings before the games and stuff like that. But Karl Anthony Towns, you got to get it together, man. You got to toughen up or something. And you would think you had KG. You had KG mentoring you for 2 years, and you had Tayshaun Prince mentoring you for 2 years. 2 guys, defensive players, 2 guys who bring it every night. And one thing I'll say about Karl Anthony Towns, he plays no defense. He plays 0 defense, and you think the KG and Tayshaun Prince effect would rub off on you, but clearly it did not.
Because we all know that defense is nothing but heart in the other area. So it's just all it is, just mano a mano. Am I gonna stop you? You know what I mean? That's what it is. Like it's all just having heart. A lot of people don't even have that nowadays.
Yeah, which is sad. It's terrible. But hopefully Minnesota, hopefully Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins could prove everybody wrong and prove the rumors wrong of what everybody thinks of you. Because right now, if you guys don't produce at a high level this season, then you guys the slander will continue, and we might be singing R&B tunes for you guys. Andrew Wiggins, he knew something about them braids though. He got to do something about them braids.
I mean,
his dad played for the Sixers.
I've heard, but I never really seen any clips or anything.
I saw a photo. His dad, he wore a 23 or something.
Okay.
I didn't know that, but all right. This might be a sad one for him. If you guys don't know, Todd's a Syracuse guy. Melo is one of his guys, and Melo is I don't know. They're doing Melo wrong. That's what I think. Melo is being done wrong for him. The Rockets are working on getting rid of him. They're trying to blame him for whatever mess is happening in Houston, and Melo's apparently turned out to be the scapegoat.
I mean, it's tough when a couple years ago, or 4 or 5 years ago, they said that he went for the money. So I feel like in the back of their minds, they're always going to say, like, Melo really isn't for the team. He's always for himself and the money. And then if things don't go well wherever he's at, they're always going to blame him for it because he's the high-profile player. Yeah. Like, Harden's Harden, Chris Paul, but they're not Melo.
Yeah.
Like, Melo's been Melo since Syracuse.
Yeah.
So it's like he's been a star since his whole entire career. And then I watched Tracy McGrady talking about Melo should retire. Tracy, he was jumping from team to team at the end to try to get one himself. So
Yeah, he played like 5 teams.
But they were saying like he might be looking at his own mistakes and just telling Melo like, don't do what I did.
I mean,
but just.
I mean, listen, Melo's not the one that, got in a fight with another player and got suspended a couple games. Melo's not the one that got injured, that hurt his hamstring and missed a couple games. So, Melo's not the one that's making questionable coaching decisions. So they need granted that Melo, he probably has some faults of his own in this, but the way they're making it perceive like he's just the worst guy ever, or he's the scapegoat, or this is the reason the Rockets aren't doing well so far this season, it's his fault, is ridiculous. And also, it's November.
I feel you, but the only thing I will say, he's like the only real new piece to them, and they were pretty good before he got there.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to figure out while he's there, so of course they're gonna blame him because he's the new piece, and he's supposed to be Hall of Fame caliber, All-Star caliber player that shouldn't have this many struggles with a team to figure out his role. Just shoot some more threes, bro. Like that's all they're really asking you to do and play some defense.
Yeah.
Like,
and also, it's really November.
Yeah,
it's November too, because some teams they have new pieces and boom, right away they gel. Celtics, when KG and them came in. They meshed well with each other. But in some teams, they take some time. Like when LeBron went to the Heat, it took some time for them. They started the first 2 months of the season, they weren't playing well. They weren't playing good basketball. Then, later on in the season, they were playing well. So I think they need to be a little more patient and just give this time because they have enough talent.
But one thing you did say, you pointed out the Celtics and the Heat. One thing about them, all their stars realize that less is more. They all sacrifice for each other. Is Melo ever going to sacrifice for the better team? Is Harden ever going to sacrifice for the better of anybody else on the team?
No.
Like,
Harden, no.
So you get what I'm saying? So sometimes less is more. And you can't play the same exact way you did last year because you have a new addition.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you think they would try to do more to make the transition easier. But, also we got to look at the coach, too. I mean, you've been with this guy. You were with this guy before. You should know his strengths, his weaknesses, and you should also be the one to put him in a position to succeed. But it seems like this is just a fail.
I mean, if they put a hoodie on him, he might be getting out there getting 30, 25, 30 a game.
Put that hoodie on Melo. we need hoodie Melo up in this joint.
One last thing, though. I know they play a lot of basketball throughout the season, but he doesn't train like he does during the summer. So when we see hoodie Melo's probably in the best shape all year round. When he comes in the season, he's in good shape, but he's not in the best shape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's that. Transitioning to other NBA news, the drama with the Warriors. Drama with the Warriors, Draymond Green got suspended 1 game the other day because, first of all, Draymond, what were you doing? I understand why KD was mad at him, but, Draymond could have. This is Draymond. He's Mr. Antics. He's all about the antics. And that play, I don't know if you saw that play or if you watched it, it's just like, what were you doing? What were you doing? Because Draymond, you know you're not supposed to have that ball at the last minute, but at least try to make a play to someone who can't score. It looked like he was about to force something that he really didn't even need to.
It's funny too. I watched the play be slowed down on NBA TV because Isaiah and them were talking about it, and I gotta really kind of lean with Isaiah. Like Draymond Green is kind of like their I want to say not their point guard, but their playmaker. He's their playmaker.
Yeah.
Because he's not the shooter. You know what I mean? And I think what he saw a couple guys that were open, but he lost the ball.
Yeah.
Granted, I was annoyed by KD because you out here pouting and doing all this during the game. Just run down the court and be supportive.
Yeah.
I've had teammates that screwed up. I screwed up. You have to be supportive of one another when it comes to games like that. And the game wasn't over.
It really wasn't.
But granted, Draymond should have just passed it back. But
or give it to Clay or something.
Or how about KD hustle up the court?
Yeah.
Because if you would have passed it back, it would have been like a back court because KD wasn't even barely over half court yet.
I think that all this is just a bunch of nothing because I swear this happens every single year with this team. There's always some type of fighting or arguing. But, I mean, I guess what happened afterwards is they got a little personal. Draymond went there and That's why they suspended. Yeah,
called
that's
him
why
out his name.
that's why they suspended. You know, at some point, somebody got two-piece Draymond. Somebody got two-piece him. I heard Tristan two-piece him.
That's what we heard, but no video.
Yeah, no video, so I don't think it happened. But at some point, I don't care if you're my teammate, you can't. You're going to get two-piece at some point if you constantly do stuff like that.
I feel you, but I'll be honest. I'm not going to let KD run his mouth to me when I was trying to make a basketball play. Like, bro, you shoot the ball all the time. I'm trying to make a play for the better team to win. Because he had, I forgot what the big man's name on top of my head.
Looney or?
Yeah, he had Looney open. Yeah. Like, for the cut, but he lost the ball. But my thing is, though, you're supposed to be a leader, KD. You're going to pout, throw your hands up. You seen the face he made when Draymond was on the ground? Like, I get it, you feel that way, but say
don't
something
show
on
it.
Yeah, like
you're
a professional, you multi-million-dollar man. Like I get it. Like every game's different, 82 games, but there's no reason for you, that high of a profile athlete, to stoop down to that level.
Yeah, that's
something that Draymond should do.
Yeah. But
you know what I'm
at the end of the day, they're probably about to win like 15, 16 games in a row, and it's gonna be over with. And now the nonsense of is this gonna be the reason KD leaves or not? I'm just like, I mean, the reason KD is gonna leave or not is if someone offers him $200 million or something like that.
And they're probably just annoyed with each other. That's what happens. You together all the time.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
Yeah, it's it's pretty much like family, you know. You love them, but dude, sometimes you want to punch them in the face.
That's how it be sometimes.
You know, no hard feelings. I mean, we could grab a drink after, but I just got to punch you in the face right now.
But I feel like for Draymond to react like that and say a couple things, I feel like KD's not the type of person to keep his mouth shut when he don't get the ball.
Yeah.
I feel he's always got something to say because he's that type of player. He's a great scorer, so when scorers don't get the ball, he got something to say.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he always has something to say.
And I'm sure you played with people like that.
Oh, yeah, I played with a couple.
Yeah.
So I look them off and shoot it.
Yes.
Bucket.
Look, we forgot to get into this last week. LaMelo Ball, he's back in high school basketball. This is some interesting stuff. And now there's teams that are dropping the school. I think it's like Spire or something like that. Spire Institute. There's teams that are dropping their games that they have against them. I forget the reason, but it's something about they might not be eligible to play in tournaments or something like that because LaMelo's on the team because he went to overseas and now he's back. I don't know, something weird like that.
I don't think he got paid.
Yeah, he didn't, but
if you don't get paid, like, and you're under the, he played pro, but he didn't get paid, so he should be able to go back.
Yeah. So,
oh, my bad, go ahead.
Yeah, so all these teams, like Oak Hill was one of the schools that dropped them. Did you see Gilbert Arenas' post?
Nah.
Yeah, he put a post saying Oak Hill got a whole bunch of 20, 21-year-olds on the team, and they want to drop a game.
I mean, let's keep it real. When I went to prep school at Canterbury, I turned 18 that year. I graduated early, but I was in prep school with kids that was 22, 23, 21 telling me I could have stayed 2-3 extra years. Yeah. So it's like, but we live in this world now. It's like people are so scared to just take an L and just compete. Like, I don't care. I played my teammate Ox my freshman year in college. I played behind him. He was 24, 25. I had to compete. Yeah. I was 18 playing against a grown man. Yep. And that's how it was. I didn't complain. I just played.
Yeah, he's only 17. I mean, what are they scared of? What are they scared? They're scared that Melo's going to drop 50 on them? I mean, let's keep him on the schedule. This whole thing's weird. But one thing that's going to be interesting next year when a school, because I know a school's going to offer him a scholarship. A school's going to offer him a scholarship is the eligibility nonsense that's going to happen with that. He probably will be eligible too because if he didn't get paid and he didn't sign no contract, then it'll be good for him. But that's the nonsense that's ahead for him when he decides to, play college basketball. That's just gonna be a headache.
I mean, true, but unfortunately, his pops was doing way too much.
Way too much.
Granted,
D'Angelo.
It might work out in LaMelo's favor just because he has so much exposure. Yeah. Went overseas, got some professional experience. Now he's playing in prep school, killing these kids. Yeah. And so he's known worldwide. Yeah. And he's growing. He's like about 6'8", 6'7" now.
Yeah, they say he's probably gonna be the best out of all.
Yeah. I mean, he has the most confident. He's the most confident out of them all. The most arrogant, the most everything. Yeah. So he's destined to be. That, but I don't know if he'd be better than Lonzo though. But
I don't know. But
question about like that prep school, was it the teams that were playing against him would be ineligible in tournaments, or Spy would be ineligible in tournaments?
The teams against.
Oh.
The teams that
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You still should be able to play the game, and if you win, you win.
Yeah.
If they Aspire beat you and they're disqualified, you get the win anyway. So what's I don't understand who said that. They need to.
You know, we talk about this all the time. NCAA and all these people that make these, whatever the board of high school that figures out all that other stuff that makes the rules. They're a bunch of losers that make them.
Most of the people probably didn't even play any sports or don't even know what it's like to lose or win anything athletically.
Yeah. So we need to get on those boards or something. Quickly on some college basketball. The top Duke moved to number 1 after that pummeling of Kentucky. Kansas is number 2, which is interesting because Kansas did beat a top 5 team too, but just
it's because we were so blown away by that whooping.
But I will mention some other freshmen that we should watch out for. Kevin Porter Jr. out there in USC. That kid.
Oh, yeah, he's a problem.
Yeah, that kid, he's a problem.
He's a problem.
And one of your schools, Georgetown, Mac.
Mac,
they had a big win yesterday against Illinois, and there's some freshmen out there.
Don't forget, is a steady point guard in North Carolina, Kobe White.
Kobe White, Nasir Little.
Sleepy. He looks sleep all the time.
Yeah. North Carolina, they have, they're just. They don't get the athletic recruits like they used to, but they just get guys who play basketball and that fit to that system, and next thing you know, they're hoisting up another championship banner or something like that. Yeah, I don't know, but you never know. Kenny Smith's son's on the squad too.
That's cool, but they ain't winning nothing this year.
You never know, man.
Nothing.
You never know,
bro. I'm telling you now, they ain't winning nothing this year.
You never know.
You heard it first.
He said it, but
I said it. Todd Burton said it.
We'll be
You're
back.
not winning anything this year.
We'll bring you back this tape if they
even need to.
All right, Athletes Corner. I was at Northeastern University talking with players and coaches. They weren't like, it was cool. I can't be standing next to these tall people though. So Athletes Corner, we're gonna come back and wrap this thing up.
Man, you can hear us?
Welcome to another edition of Athletes Corner. We're here at Northeastern University. We have Junior Bolden Brace here. I'm here with head coach, Coach Cohen, 12 years in. I'm here with Vasa Pusita. I hope I pronounced that right. How you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Coach, 12 years here in one spot. What are some things you've seen in your 12 years here?
Yeah, I'm just proud to still be representing Northeastern University in this basketball program.
Hey, last year putting on this jersey, senior year, so what's some things you're looking forward to?
I'm just excited about it. I'm trying to embrace it. Take one day at a time and just enjoy.
Third year here, how's it been for you so far?
I think overall it's been a really good progression. My first year, I was pretty far away from home, and it was a pretty tough transition from high school to college for me.
For this upcoming season, what are some things that you worked on during the off season that you hope translates on the court?
I think the biggest thing for me is just continuing to try not to turn the ball over, take more shots when I'm open, and continue to share the ball.
It's hard to pick one thing. I believe that I've improved in every part of my game. Especially from a physical standpoint, getting stronger in the weight room, getting faster, and obviously just working out on everything, adding new parts to my game, is that shooting off the dribble, floaters, those are some of the things that I was working on this summer. And
you guys are coming off a 20-win season last season. You guys were tied for first in the conference. So what is it going to take for you guys just to keep that momentum going to this season?
Well, it's going to be another challenging and exciting year. We're excited to get started, against our crosstown rival BU on Tuesday night.
What were those battles like with Charleston and some of the other teams in the conference?
Well, we didn't beat them once last year, which definitely hurts, especially that last game.
We have some really good teams in our league. Charleston is definitely going to be as good, if not better, than they were last year, but I think we're going to be better than we were last year.
They have a tremendous program down there. Coach Grant does a tremendous job. They have a really talented roster and a lot of strong returners coming back. So they'll be a contender as well this year. There's some other teams like Hofstra and William Mary. So I think those are the 4 teams that are kind of battling for that #1 spot this year.
What are some things that you've seen from your team that you guys, that's a good thing? What are some things that you guys still have to work on?
I believe our defense is in a good level right now, and then I think we can go and run in transition a lot. We can score a lot of easy points in transition.
We got to go game by game for us. You know, we have a lot of guys returning from last year, had a successful season, but we're looking to build on that this year.
I think the biggest thing for us is just cohesion and playing together and trying to learn each other's moves and learn how to best read each other when we're on the court and off the court.
What is it like for you as a coach? You've seen a lot of things in 12 years, especially when you have returners. How does that ease off on the younger players that you have?
Yeah, oddly, this might be the first time I don't think we have a freshman on our roster. Jason's a redshirt freshman, but you know he's a returner as well, and you know, so a lot of guys are familiar with you know, the system and the style of play and the practices and the drills.
A lot of guys are coming back from last year, but it's still a new team, and you know, everything has to click together. So just those things, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you're still, you know, I don't care how long you've been playing. You know, every time you look at the NBA preseason camps and so on, those players, even they might be 15-year pros, they're starting out with the fundamentals. So we've been still in that process and trying to get better at the fundamentals.
They're excited. The season opener is Tuesday, November 6th. Also, that's election day, I believe, as well. Go out and vote as well.
Let's get out and vote.
Get out and vote. But good luck to the Northeastern University men's basketball team this season. I want to thank the coach for being here with me, taking the time. And good luck to you guys. You guys been watching Athletes Corner. We're done.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, coach. And we back. If you notice at the end, the coach got a little flavor. He got a little culture. You see that handshake he gave me, baby? He's been hanging around. He's hung around some brothers a few times, sometimes in his life. You know, he's been there 12 years. I know. I don't. Oh man. Quickly, playoff top 4 in college football. It's still the same. Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, Michigan. You know, it's not going to change because Alabama's playing some team named the Citadel. I don't know where that.
I think the Citadel's in North Carolina.
Yeah,
I could be wrong though.
Yeah, they're about to get run out the building.
I've heard the Citadel before.
Yeah, so you know, nothing's really changed, and you know, unless any of these teams loses within the next couple weeks, the only thing Michigan guys, they have Indiana this weekend, and then they have Ohio State. So they should handle business with that, and then the Ohio State one. All Michigan has to do is win out. They'll stay there. Notre Dame might, you know, they have some teams that they might lose to, USC or whatever. But you know, playoff top 4. College football is the Alabama Invitational, and Alabama's. I don't see it changing.
No, I don't see it changing either.
All right, it's time for our little NFL predictions time. We are gonna, you know. Yeah, we didn't do well last week. I'll just let you know that
How'd I do?
No, we did horrible.
Oh,
we did horrible.
All
I think we got 4 right.
Oh man.
All right, so Thursday night, Packers Seahawks. It is in Seattle.
Seahawks.
I'll go with the Packers. Cowboys Falcons.
Falcons.
I'm going to Atlanta this weekend, so I guess I'll root for the Falcons. Panthers Lions. This is in Detroit.
Panthers. I'm going to give it the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Panthers. They need to bounce back. They need to win this game. They're 1-3 on the road, though. Ugh. Titans Colts. Colts, yeah. Buccaneers Giants.
I mean, if my boy Carter Fitzpatrick slangle that thing, who's the team again?
Giants.
I'm just pick Giants, man.
I'm going with the Bucs because I can't trust the Giants to be consistent. Texans and that team from Washington.
Texans, I don't root for them. Texans.
I'll go with team from Washington. Jaguars Steelers. Jaguars. They always beat the Steelers for some odd reason.
I'll be honest, these last 3 games you just mentioned was like, bro, what?
Yeah, and then watch them play the game of their lives against a good team like they always do. Bengals Ravens.
Who you got?
I've got the Ravens because I can never root for the Bengals.
Same here.
Pick'em game Raiders Cardinals. Cardinals. Broncos Chargers.
Chargers.
Eagles Saints. I'm gonna go with the Eagles with the upset. Eagles with the upset.
Saints.
Vikings, Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bears. It's in Chicago. And Monday Night Football, we got the Chiefs and the Rams.
Rams.
I'm gonna go with Mahomes, even though I wanted to say the Rams, but I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. Oh, we got through it. That's it. Look at that. We made it through another episode. We'll be back here next week. Make sure to check us out. lyntv.org. Check us out. We forgot to wish the veterans a happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans. Lord knows if they could get some benefits, some health insurance or something like that, the way, you know. But yeah, we're out of here. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.